Hi grade 9s, it's Miss Thangaraj here, and we are going to start lesson 5 for assignment number 4, and this is the last lesson of this assignment. And so you've come so far. I hope you've already looked at lesson 5 on your own before watching this video. That was your homework for last night. So if you haven't yet looked at lesson 5 by yourself, I would love for you to stop the video now and to go back and to try lesson 5 on your own a little bit to see if what you can do all on your own without my help. If you have already tried lesson number 5, then you should just keep watching this video, but please make sure before you do that you go get yourself a pencil, a paper, a calculator, so you can do some math with me at the same time while watching this video. So this is what lesson 5 looks like. It's called the cellular phone problem, and it's right at the end of assignment 4. We're going to compare two cell phone companies, Call a Lot and Talk More. And in order to do that, we're going to need to look at the equations. So for Call a Lot, the cost is 0.50t plus 20. And for Talk More, C is equal to 0.25t plus 25. And so the monthly cost is the C, and the T is the number of minutes. And we're going to want to use those equations to fill in these two table of values. And you'll see the table of values are blank. They don't tell you what to jump by. So we're going to read a little bit further in the assignment, and it says that they want you to make tables of values that go up to 30. So we want to start at 0 and go all the way up to 30. So I can see that if I start at 0 and go to 30, there's 6 jumps between that. No, actually 6 jumps between that. So 30 divided by 6 means 5. So that means I want to jump up 5 each time. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to, in this video, make the equation for, or make the table of values for Call a Lot. And we're going to use the equation that we're given for Call a Lot. C is equal to 0.50t plus 20. Don't forget, the 20 is all by itself, so that's the initial value. The 0.50 is right next to the t, or the variable, so that's going to be the rate of change. Okay, so I'm at my kitchen table. I've got my chart paper out. I've written the equation. C is equal to 0.50t plus 20, and I'm going to make a table of values that jumps by 5. So we know that right at the beginning, I don't need to use the equation. I just look at the equation and I know I'm looking for the initial value. The initial value is the part that's all by itself, so the 20. So I'm going to put, at the beginning, we need to pay $20. So that's like the flat fee or the base fee, the fee you pay right at the beginning for your cell phone plan. And then it goes up depending on how many minutes you use the cell phone. Now, we're going to have to use the equation. This 5 is a t, because the t is above it. So I'm going to go to my equation. I'm going to look for the t, and I'm going to put a 5 here. Okay, what that means is I need to go 0.50 times 5 plus 20. And if I were to do that with my calculator, 0.50 times 5 would give me $2.50 plus 20 gives me $22.50. Now, some of you get really confused because your calculator probably just says that, 22.5. But when we have money, we need 2 decimal places, so we're going to add the 0. So it means $22.50. And we're going to put that into our table. And right now, I can see it's linear. It always needs to jump the same. This is jumping by $2.50, so it should keep jumping by $2.50. So let's see, this should be $25. And then $27.50, and then $30, and then $32.50, and then $35. But let's just check with the equation. So now we're going to write the equation one more time. C is equal to 0.50t plus 20. The next t is going to be equal to 10. So that means in this equation, I'm going to cross off the t, I should say, and put a 10 here. So 50 cents times 10 gives me $5, plus 20 gives me $25. And that is exactly what I predicted. So you could use the equation for the rest of these numbers, or you can just follow the nice pattern. So this would be the table of values for the first cell phone plan. Okay, just like in previous lessons, we need to look at call a lot and we need to explain what the rate of change and initial value mean. Not just put the numbers in, but actually explain what it means. So let's start first with the initial value. We know the initial value is what the table of values starts with. So that would mean that our initial value is going to be 20. Because when you look at the table of values, it starts at 20. You could have actually figured that out also just by looking at the equation, because we know that the 20 is the number in the equation that is all by itself. So we need to fill in this little chart that we find in lesson number 5, and we're going to start with the initial value, and we're going to say that the initial value is $20, and that means that the flat fee for the plan is $20. You need to pay $20 at the beginning, even if you use no minutes at all. So don't forget, you can't just write down the number. You need to explain what that number means. The next part of the table that I need to fill in is the rate of change. So I need to look at the call a lot table of values and equation and figure out what the rate of change is. So let's look at our table of values. Don't forget also, we need to explain what the rate of change means. So here's our table of values for call a lot. And some people would say, oh, miss, the rate of change must be $2.50 because it's jumping $2.50 all the time. I'm going to say, stop, hold on, that's not right. Because if I look at the left side, is the left side jumping by 1? Is it going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, it's not. And so since it's not going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's not jumping by 1s, it's actually jumping by 5s, you can't say that that jumping number of $2.50 is the rate of change. We're going to need to do subtract, divide. So what we need to do is, because this side jumps by $2.50 and this side jumps by 5, we've subtracted, now we need to divide. So $2.50 divided by 5, and that's going to give me 50 cents. So our rate of change is not $2.50, it's actually 50 cents. And that makes total sense, because when you look at the equation, remember the equation over here? What's the number that's in front of the T? The rate of change is 50 cents. So we know that with call a lot plan, every time you talk for 1 extra minute, the cost goes up an extra 50 cents or 0.50. The next part of lesson number 5 asks us to compare the two graphs. Compare the graphs for the two different cell phone companies. What's the same and what's different? Remember that in English, the word compare means tell me same and different. So I'm going to go to Desmos, and I hope you do too, and I'm going to graph both of the equations. And so these are the two equations. One of them starts at 20. One of them starts at 25, so that's different. They're both increasing, so that's the same. But they're increasing at different rates, so that means their rate of change must be different. But one interesting thing, one thing that is the same, is that when you look at the two graphs, you can see they are the same at one special point. You can see that at 20 minutes of using the cell phone, both of the companies would cost you $30. So that's interesting. They're the same at 20 minutes. They've got different initial values. They're both increasing, but different rates of change. That's why they're different steepnesses, but they are the same at that one special point. We also want to know for Talkmore, that's the other company, what does the ordered pair 8,27 mean? And as soon as we know what letter the 8 is and what letter the 27 is, that will be easy to answer. So let's look at our table of values just to make sure. Remember that the first number is the T and the second number is the C. So that means that if you talk for 8 minutes, the cost will be 20 $27 for Talk More. So that's what the 8 and the 27 mean. And the last question for today is, 1 month, Leslie used 13 minutes on her Talk More plan. How much did it cost her? So in order to answer this question, we need to find the equation for Talk More, and we need to do some work with that equation. So the question tells us that we speak for 13 minutes. And so what side would the 13 minutes go? The 13 minutes would go here. And we want to know how much does that cost? That means that this 13 minutes is going to go where the t is. So I'm going to look at my equation for talk a lot. I'm going to find my t. Now, I just want to say this over and over. You always write down the same equation. You don't change this. You don't change this. The only thing you can do is cross off a t or cross off a c. So I'm going to cross off the t is equal to 13. I'm going to go 0.25 times 13, and I'm going to add 25. And I'm going to get out my calculator, and I'm going to figure out what that is equal to. I think, actually I didn't get my calculator. I think that this is $3.25 plus 25. So I think that's going to be $28.25. My faithful YouTube followers, if I made a mistake, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So that means if you use the Talk a Lot cell phone plan, if you talk for 13 minutes, it's going to cost you $28.25. Okay, so here's today's homework. It's not very much, a little bit, but I would like you to try it on your own at home. So we did call a lot. The table of values for that. What I would like you to do is I would like you to do the table of values for the second company for Talk More. If you can make that table of values, and that would be fantastic. Please, if you need help, come see me on Google Meet today. I will be there, and I would love to help you. Also, a little second piece of homework. I know I've said it before, but please, I would love for you to try your best to wear a mask if you're going outside, just to protect yourself and to protect the people you love. Wearing a mask is a way to show other people that you love them, because you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of them. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Leave me a comment on YouTube once you've watched this video. Thank you so much for being resilient and continuing to learn at home. I am so proud of you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow for our last YouTube video for assignment number 4.